Again, I realize that not everyone is a Wolfpack volunteer like I am. I know not everyone thinks that money in politics perverts our democracy at the same level, and of which that I do. But I do know that 93% of Americans believe that money perverts our democracy and that money is harmful in our government. And yet on the CD3 debate between Carl Ingwel, Ben Frank, and Kathy Allen, why should you choose you, Kathy Allen? Because I've got the money. So it just seems like this is somebody who's completely tone deaf to the goings-on within our political systems right now, completely tone deaf to the people that she was talking to. They were in Helper, Utah. Very poor, very rural, and she was like, yo, I got the money, come on, vote for me. Why? I don't have ideas, I have the money, because I'm part of the Mick resistance. Yes, viva la Mick resistance. And this tone deafness, this idea that old white people think that all you need is a little bit of money and then you can get things done. I don't know, I see a lot more getting done on Bernie Sanders' side. And while we've had some very promising elections come up through the special election process that Bernie Sanders has shown a lot of support for, just because we haven't won the seat doesn't necessarily mean that we aren't winning the battles. We're getting closer and closer and closer, closing gaps on historically high Republican dominated areas, and I'd call that a win. You know, the more that we can come together and look at our problems as a Venn diagram, see where we overlap, see where we can express human values, free healthcare, energy security, energy independence. How about we quit polluting our air? You know, we have 1,000 to 2,000 people die prematurely per year here in Utah because of our, industrial China level air quality. And, that's something that we got to do something about. And biggest thing we can do at this point is have our city infrastructure start moving towards renewables. And then on an individual level, once we quit punching down on the middle class and we can actually give raises, raise the minimum wage, then we can start getting solar panels on our houses, get electric cars. If you have a solar panel, an electric car, well, then your house is basically providing the energy for your car, and you have massively reduced your carbon footprint. So there's a lot that we can do on an individual level, but not while there's so much punching down, not while there's so much just forgetting about the working class that, is actually, if there's any group that is going to make America great or again, it's going to be the working class. We are the consumers. Our economy is based on consumerism. Right now, the consumers are being choked out. They don't have the money to consume. If your economy is based on consumerism and you are choking out the consumers and they have no ability to spend that money, guess what's going to happen to your economy? You're going to hit a recession and then possibly a depression. So yeah, New Deal Democrats need to come together. Ben Frank is my candidate of choice for CD3. I really like Carl Ingwel too. I think that he plays a necessary role. If he wins, I will definitely push my support onto Carl. He's actually a grassroots candidate. He's big on not taking corporate donations, not being the person who's like, well, how are you going to win? What do you bring to the table? Well, I bring the money. So it seems like Kathy Allen is completely tone deaf to what's going on. That really bums me out. I'm assuming she's going to act as a large distraction to the Utah Democratic Party, much like Doug Owens did last year. They're gonna put all of their eggs in one basket, assuming that she wins the primary. We're gonna lose to a Republican because a feckless and tone deaf Democrat is in no way better than a Republican here in Utah. I mean, I might see some of her views as being a little bit better for me, but not overall, not for the population. We're not gonna see Utahns overwhelming go for an old an old white lady who talks about how money is what's going to push her through. Yeah, if you had an old white lady talking like an old white guy, like who combs his hair with a balloon, like Bernie Sanders, then you'd see people most likely flocking to her, especially when 79% of Utah Democrats primaried for Bernie. Here in Utah, there's such a Bernie love. Here in Utah, we've seen what Bernie's done in West Virginia, getting in a whole room of West Virginia Trump supporters clapping for single-payer health care. That's the way to go. If you aren't with us for single-payer health care, if you aren't with us with a Green New Deal, I suspect that you are against us, and I'm going to squash your make resistance and make you a little sad. Sorry about that. All right, have a good one, guys.